Hi there, and welcome back to what is definitely not the first time I've attempted this stream. People in chat were telling me I've been recording for 10 minutes without anything happening, which was not the smartest thing in the world. So welcome back to the next live stream and episode, if you're watching on YouTube, of Warband. Viking Conquest, we're here. We've only really done some recruiting. I don't think I've actually done anything particularly exciting on the stream yet. But thank you very much, Cucumbers, for pointing that out. That could have gone a little bit wrong. I could have been recording for up to like 3 hours and nothing happening. That could have really backfired, so I really do appreciate that. Do you have any tasks I can do? You want some grain. I might have the grain for you already, but I'll at least recruit with what I can. Other tasks you asked me? Okay, we actually will probably need to go buy this grain from somewhere. So we'll head to our ships. I guess we'll head to Squeen's, probably the closest. You could have streamed for hours, zero gameplay, but the Cucumber is here to save the day. Absolutely. Especially as this doesn't go up on YouTube afterwards, it would be quite disappointing for it to have 2 hours of me just talking to myself. Oh, that could have been very embarrassing indeed. Okay, send to Squin. Let's buy this grain if we can. There's normally a good amount of grain around. I'm surprised Whiskers didn't tell me, but maybe he was enjoying watching me be an idiot. It's entirely possible. Okay, we need to go somewhere else for some other grain. Let's try Dunbreton. There's a feast in Dunbeatty, which might be worth doing. Let's trade with the locals, because they will also have some. Is that going to be enough wheat? 1, 2, 3, just about. We'll go to Dunbeatty actually, because that's going to get us some. That's the potential for a mini tournament, and mini tournaments can get us some money. We can do the quest for our village in a second. But if we can make it to Dunbeatty in time, I would very much like it while the tournament is still active, and it is excellent. We won't get that much money for these tournaments, but it'll be better than nothing. Good away, good set. Okay, let's deal with you. I'm stuck on a tree. There we go. Round 1 of 6 done. Okay, let's not let that happen again if we can help it. Not sure, but actually that'd be good. Wonderful. Round 2. I think we get about 4,000 if we win this like mini tournament. Especially as it's just a 2. It's always a 1v1. It works in my favour. I much prefer that. But it gives you no room to hide if you get things wrong, like this. I guess my okay. Here I was like, oh yeah, I can definitely do this, and then I fail. Let's speak to Asgard and woo her with some more of my poetry. She doesn't like it very much, that's fine. You do catch nearly every stream, and I'm very, very grateful. 50 Norse freeholders, absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. We also have enough money for another business somewhere, although there's not many places we can go anymore. But let's head back to our ships and go to our village first. We're getting a pretty good cohort together, although it is going to cost more money, of course. 15 young warriors, I wouldn't mind taking out just for the recruits. That way I don't need to recruit as much. I think that's useful. Okay, we can have up to 300 people in the battle, although I'm sure that can go a little bit higher. We'll test that when that becomes an actual problem. But for the time being, we don't particularly need to. Infantry at the front, spearmen at the front. Archers, skirmishers and cavalry at the back as normal. We're getting a good front line now, although these Norse freeholders still have a long way to go before there'll be any use, but they hold a spear and shield, so that's good. Infantry can come join the very long spear line. But what I do like is that, you know, back in the day, most troops would use spears more than like axes and swords that you see in media. So in that regards, I really don't mind it. Just gonna have a quick drink while I wait for them to come over the hill. And here they come. I finally finished off the Valiant Heart series on YouTube. The last episode just went up before I started playing this, and I'm very happy with it. It's such a good series and such a fun game to play. Such a meaningful game as well. But I'm sad now because it's kind of a one-time play. You can't really play it again. I mean, you can, but nothing really changes that much. But I've got a couple of series to finish off on YouTube anyway, so looking forward to finishing those off. I've got to do one more Stronghold episode. I think about 6 or 7 more episodes to record and edit of 112 Operator, and then I can decide what to do on YouTube next, because I tend to do different games on YouTube and Twitch, and certainly for stuff like Warband, certainly when I was doing 7 Days, the Portal, I tend to try upload the games from Twitch onto YouTube, but I do tend to play different games. I tend to play more open-ended games on stream, and then more story-based on YouTube. But I'm still trying to find the right balance between the two. Are we going to catch up to these guys, or are we going to spend all day running after them? I think we're just going to spend all day running after them. So I'll let them go, or at least try to catch them up on the battlefield. We'll take some more young warriors, because that's 15 troops who are already decent on our shield wall already. And we will loot whatever we can. One day I'm going to stream radio. I would love that. That would be very nice. I've never once been raided, so it would be a fun experience for me. Let's head up to our ships again. We'll stop off in Squeen to actually sell our gear. And then we'll head to our ships and go back to our village. The question is, have we actually eaten all the wheat now? That's a problem. Wheat. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we still have enough. That's fine. We do need to be quick and get back to our village. And also, the more we help them, I think the better prosperity they get going forward. That may not be the case. It sounds, you know, mildly sensible, even if it's not actually the case. So we'll give it a go. Thank you, Cucumbers. I really do appreciate that you think I'm the best streamer. I'm yet to believe it myself, but every time you turn up, it helps more and more. So I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's head back to our village. Drop off their much needed wheat. I guess you can't really grow much in these parts of the world. But this is also giving us a lot of money. Not money, but giving us troops, and that in turn will give us money because we will have troops to work with. 192 troops is the biggest our army has ever been. You go all Italian. Genuinely upsetty at Twitch for this sin. I'm so upset. And every single Italian watching on download is just unsubscribed. But no, I really do appreciate it. It's very kind of you. What am I doing? Let's go kill some Welsh people. And also find somewhere to set up this business. We have a lot of troops now. Like a lot of troops. But I'm not complaining. Troops are very, very useful indeed. If we can find like a nice Welsh lord to go after, that'd be fun. Or we can go after you. Let's do it. I want to see my 4 ships in action. I haven't seen 4 ships in action yet on my side. Oh, look at this, lads. Here we go. Let's get our sail out. And I'm determined to get our ships to stand ground. Because they're still kind of moving. Hello, Ikenerdorf. First of all, thank you very much for following. As I do appreciate it. Is the morale improvement some food only applied when it's eaten, or just if it's in your inventory? Very good question. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Let's let people charge again. Oh, they did it. Did they actually stop? I guess they did stop. Cool. Let me check once I've finished this battle. I think it's probably just all the time when it's in your inventory. And I think you just get better. The more variety you have, the better the better morale you get, because you have that food variety. Obviously, the better foods are kind of the meat, the fish, the cheese, the honey, kind of the more opulent foods, but not ones that are so easy to get hold of, and they do cost a bit more as well. But I might just be completely butchering that, I don't know. Let's kill these chaps in here. We're not actually going to be able to pick up this boat because we actually have a full... We just hit a friendly troop bod on me. But we have a full amount of ships for our skill level. So we can't expand our fleet at the moment yet. Are we going to pick up 42 sailors? I mean, we'll pick the sailors up just for the speed, I suppose, but we'll need to get rid of some of them, as we are actually on the open ocean. We'll take the 19 sailors, and we can change that as time goes on. I think one food of each type gives you morale. So you get two. I would get 2 for the wheat, plus 2 morale for the wheat, plus 8 for the bread, plus 3 for the barley. I think it's just 1 for every food type, but I might be wrong. Any cute cats pictures tonight? Not tonight, I'm afraid. Soon, hopefully. So if I go to note down reports or camp. You know, I'm not entirely sure. If I set land here and go to reports or quarters, I think morale is, like I said, I think morale is just based on the food variety. Like, you get bonus for one of each type. I just can't actually remember how you check it on this. Party, morale, food variety I have -2, so it's not that good at the moment. I do need more. I need to get some more food variety, actually. So this discussion has actually helped me out quite a bit. So we'll stop off possibly in Rathkelter here to pick up some more food. But we're a pretty strong force on the seas now, so I'm chuffed with that. You know, 211 troops is nothing to be messed around with, and actually now we have quite a big troop. We actually need to be a little bit more careful with how much food we take on. We do need to actually take on quite a bit because they will get through it quite quickly. So that is going to cost us some money. I'm not going to buy too much dry meat. Well, actually, I'm not going to buy the dry meat because it's very expensive, but I'll buy everything else. And then I'll sail from port again. So we don't need to stay in Rathkelter. And let's keep heading down towards the Welsh territory. Now we have 211 troops. We might actually be able to take on some of the kind of higher level lords, but we also need to do a lot of upgrading. And of course, that requires a lot of money as well. So we do need to be a little bit careful with our cash flow to not go too overboard. Because if we go too overboard, then that's a problem. We'll drop off here in Wales and see how this goes. Some renegades there, but we have 211 troops. We need to be going for kind of bigger we've got bigger fish to fry. We are still making a profit though, although a lot of the men are, you know, quite a few of our men are sailors who take quite a big paycheck for when they're I suppose when they're on the sea, that's where they make their, that's where they are best, but still. Maine and Wessex are at war, it's nothing particularly unusual. Where are the shirtless men? They'll be here somewhere, don't worry. How much men is it? See there, we could almost take that on. I'm not going to, because I think the troops are of higher quality than ours. But it's interesting that's a possibility. We need to go see Asgard at the opportune moment, but the opportune moment is not now, I don't think. But with 211 troops, we're pretty... a force to be contended with. So I want to find a couple of weak Welsh lords if I can. That's not weak Welsh lords, that's lots of Welsh lords. If I could find just like one of them, preferably one who has less troops than I do, that would be good. Because I'm going to have to keep on upgrading these guys and I'm not going to get much reward if I don't start killing things quickly. Move the North Spearmen up. Definitely need to kill some more things, or at least raid some trade. Let's head up to the northern part of Wales and also up towards Tompton. There might be some trade or some lords we can take on there. Tompton only has 336, so we're not particularly far off taking there. But we would probably need some help. I don't think we would manage it by ourselves. You have 314, it's not ideal. 235 we could probably take on, but oh my goodness, we can't take on all of you, good grief. They'll have so many troops, why? If we could go to war with someone who's less strong, that'd be wonderful. We are kind of between a rock and a hard place here. Literally, between a mountain and a hard place. Go away. We could actually be in real trouble here if we can't get out past Dinarth. Luckily we can. Okay, and we've made peace with them. Which means we need to go do some killing. Sadly we didn't manage to do that quest in time. Not great, but what can we do? We also need to deal with our morale issues. Let's head into Tompton now that we can. Let's go to the mead hall. There might be a happy widow for us to say hello to, and there is. I want to raise the morale of my men. 1500. Go for it. There's a competition here, which never goes well, but let's give it a go nonetheless. 2 teams of 2. Interesting. The red team is going to absolutely decimate my other person. We'll try to take on the green soldier here. As long as I can get myself 1 kill. That's all that really matters. Oh, I'm so sorry. That must have sounded awful down the microphone. I wouldn't normally fight with my shield, but I don't see any other options. When fighting against 2 spearmen, but not that it matters anyway. Bless you, thank you very much. Gesundheit. Okay, 4 teams of 5 fighters. Let's keep our fighters together. That way we actually, you know, mildly stand a chance of actually being successful. Now we can charge. Okay, Green Warriors dealt with. And we'll do some chopping from behind. There we go. We are through this round even if we don't win. Purely just because we have got 2 kills. We used to have all 5 of our teams, so we should do pretty well against either 2 or 3 soldiers left on green or red. Looks like red will come out victorious, or maybe not. Red did come out victorious, but then we came out victorious on top of them. Wonderful. We have a sword and shield. I didn't see how many people were fighting. Everyone hold this position. Okay, it's 2 teams of 2. Interesting. Okay, our person did not survive very long. Can I pick up that shield? That's a spear. That's not what I wanted. Green's here as well now. I shouldn't have killed the blue person. Now that I've killed the blue person, I've got to kill this person. You have a shield. But you now have a spear, so I should be okay. Ooh, that was a close one. 3 seasons, 1 fighter each. Please don't both be going for me. You're both going for me. Wonderful. So we need to kill this blue person ASAP. Before the other person comes in. Because if we're fighting 2 people, we'll never manage to be successful. I think that person has an axe, slightly annoyingly. No, you have a spear as well. I don't know why I'm trying the different technique, because I'm so used to doing the other technique. Okay, this has gone badly wrong. And now we try stab you. Some more. There we go. I'm still not that good with spears. I like lances, but you didn't really get lances in this. We have a sword and shield, thank goodness. What does he have? He has a axe? No, he has a spear. Cool. So if we get inside his minimum range, we should be okay. Spears are at greater range. They're not as useful in close combat. So that's kind of my plan when that kind of situation occurs. We're in the final round. Please don't lose this. He's got a spear as well. So that's not the end of the world. We just need to play this methodically. I'm surprised they can shield bash when right after hitting, but maybe that's just me. There we go. Finally won a big tournament after a long time of not winning a big tournament. Although you don't actually get any more money, so really it's much better to do the one-on-ones you get in the other tournaments. Hello, Happy Widow. Let's make sure we're all good here. Let's pick up a little bit more food, some bread. How's my morale doing now? It's average. We need to go kill some things because otherwise we're going to lose money at quite a big rate. Where's somewhere with some tough opposition? Robber's Den. I know somewhere around here there's a big ship area over there. Okay, we can head that way. We'll head up to Scotland and see if there's any like Vikings we can attack because we have a lot of men to work with. We should really make use of it. And we also need to pay the bills somehow. Hopefully we'll go to war with someone a bit closer to home. We can actually take some territory for ourselves. We'll have to see. Hadrians Wall. I can't remember if Hadrians Wall is actually useful for anything. Hadrians Wall is cool. I think we've already done the Hadrians Wall quest though, so we'll come back to that another time. There's a little question done or a thing in Dunbeatty, but I think we can avoid that. Actually, we're going to go down to Wessex because there was a bunch of. I remember last time I was down there was a bunch of prisoners or a bunch of people to kill down there. We are still making a profit regardless, but not a huge profit. I'd like some more. Or we can go for some ship combat. 74th Northmen. That could be interesting. Let's make sure we're fully upgraded before we do that, however. Because these guys can be no joke, regardless of how many troops we have. They're going to be someone we want to take on, and we should hopefully be successful, but that's going to be a tough old fight. 74 Northmen is not nothing. Looks like we might be going to war with Northumbria. We're going to hold position. 74 versus 211. I hope this will be worth it. Let's push to the edge of this hill here. We have over double their numbers. but numbers don't always guarantee a victory, although they do very much help. Archers can stay there, as can skirmishers. Cavalry can live over there. Cavalry aren't particularly important in this mod, I feel. They are coming in pretty damn quickly. I would really like the infantry and the spearmen to do as they're told to get on the front lines. Because right now they're kind of just being cowards and hanging back. And there's a lot of angry Vikings coming in. I mean, those Vikings absolutely tear through the sailors, but my hope is that we can manage either way. The infantry, the spearmen can't get through, so the spearmen are just going to charge, just to try and get them through that archer line. I'm going to spread out the archers. Okay, everyone go, everyone charge. This is going to be a big fight, and we will hopefully win. But the Vikings are no joke. Especially with these ship captains. And there are, I did see a few berserkers as well. I think only one or two, but even one or two berserkers can very much hurt. I think we are doing well though, because I can see lots of troops falling. We are going to take quite a few losses ourselves. I think we've already taken about 20 deaths, plus we'll take some wounds as well, of course. Let's keep on slashing as best we can. How many men did we lose? We lost, well, exactly 20. I'm hoping the loot from this will be worth it. 11 renown. Obviously, we do have to spread the loot quite far between our company, but also we can take a lot of prisoners, which is lovely. Not as much loot as I would like. We should probably also do some companion upgrading, as I haven't done that for a very long time indeed. So speak to Bodo. He's got 14 skill points to work with. My goodness. Let's go your intelligence up. I want you to work on tactics. I want you to work on tracking, looting. I want you to also. You can also work on your. You can work on engineering as like maybe a backup engineer. That's fine. And we'll just work on your weapon points. Morgan. So I can't remember what we're specing you into. We're specing you in. You're just like a soldier, really, aren't you? So we'll just give you Iron Flesh as best as we can. Power Strike, Power Throw. You're just a soldier, really. You do have good inventory management, but that doesn't really help with. It doesn't help our company at the moment. It will help more when you're an independent leader. We'll put one more into charisma. You have 12 points and you're Agathinos, so we're going to put you into. We'll make you into a medic, kind of medic first aid engineer as well. We can work on your combat statistics later. With you, I'd argue it's not really the priority. Elchu, you are a cavalryman. You're a bloody good one at that, looking at your stats. Let's get your strength up. And I want to give you... Do I want to give you trainer? Let's give you... Okay, we're going to give you trainer as best we can, and also tactics as best we can. Just so you know you can be a useful backup should one of our other companions go down. Don Chad, you are... Let's give you another intelligence. We've got 9 points to work with you. I'm tempted just to put more into your combat skills. Also gives you more in athletics. Trainer is always useful. And we'll also put you into tactics as well. Beta is also a very good kind of engineer and medic. So we've got 10 points to work with you. I'd actually like to work on your power strike, your power throw, weapon master. I think eventually we will put you on horseback, so we'll make sure that's all good. I'll put in as many points as possible. We've just got Brunhild and Clovis as well. Brunhild has got quite a bit of catching up to do. Put as many as I can to Power Strike into Weapon Master. I'm going to put the rest into Trainer. Because the more we can train people up quickly, I consider that a positive. And will give you a bit of riding experience as well. Because eventually we'll probably put all our companions on horseback. And of course, last but not least, closest to finish, we will just get your intelligence up further. Get your combat up as much as possible. And then we'll put you into Trainer, Tactics. And you can also be a backup engineer and sergeant, as we do seem to have a lot of those. But you never have too many, in my opinion. Engineer and surgeons are very useful indeed. There we go. We also need to upgrade our actual troops, but those are much simpler to do. But we're going to capitulate money at this rate if we don't do some good fighting. So let's head up to the Irish Sea. And so I can often find some Vikings there, some Northmen, to fight, and we've got some plenty of ships and troops to work with. So we can try do that. There's also lots of travellers. I don't really want to attack the travellers unless necessary. I'd like to actually just find some hostile people to attack. Problem is, because we're not at war with anyone, and that could prove troublesome. Let's actually go back away from our villages. We don't tend to find many people there. Christian clergy I'm not all too worried about going after. I want to find some bigger fights than 16 if I can. Let's maybe go down this way in the world. 69. Need to find some big fights. We have 191 troops and no way to use it. So we're no longer at war with anyone. I kind of got myself built up for a war and then the war stopped. Oh, hang on. I saw some ships there. I saw at least 2 ships. Come back. Where were you? No, you're just a trader. That's frustrating. Traders, more traders, lots of traders. Some Vikings would be nice. Maybe we could head over towards Northumbria, also towards Norway. And we might be able to find some ships to attack along the way. If not, we can do like a trade. We can do a trade run, which wouldn't be bad. And we might find some things to attack there. Fishermen, but they're really not worth going after. Okay, this is Denmark. We're going to head up to Norway. Sea Kings are actively part of another faction, so I don't want to attack them. But I'm hoping there'll be some Vikings somewhere. We are making a profit, which is good. But I want to get some combat as well. As... oh, they started a mutiny. Interesting. How many people started a mutiny? Was it just one? One person started a mutiny. How's the morale? It's not great. Let's get to shore as quickly as possible in Tunsberg. I've never experienced a mutiny before. We will... yes, the problem is we can't go after the Sea Kings at the moment. Ransom broker, I want to sell my prisoners, thank you. And I want to speak to the Happy Widow, I want to raise the morale of my men. Because, well, I don't really want any mass revolts that could go pretty badly on the open seas. And I want to continue... 3,800 is a lot of money for 10 morale, good grief. Is there anything I can do to... is there anyone I can fight here? Fighting is important. Anyone I can fight. 34 renegades, I'm going to do that just for the morale boost, I think. In fact, we're just going to... are we going to charge the enemy? Let's maybe not charge the enemy, that's probably a bit excessive. Infantry and spearmen can hold the front lines. Archers and skirmishers at the back as always. Cavalry can do their own thing. There's only 34 of them, so I probably don't need to be as prepared as I am being, but it's still worth doing, I think. Wow, our infantry are really pushing forward. Let's bring them back, just so they're kind of in the same shield line as the rest of us. I mean, we do have a lot of troops now, which is great, but if we can't keep our budget positive, then that's going to become a problem. So really we need to do as much fighting as possible. And I was hoping to find some Vikings on the open seas, but I just haven't been able to see any. So I think just basically pretty much fight everything we can above 30 troops. You know, with 200 troops, it's not going to be much of a challenge, but we're not actively at war with anyone, so there's very few people we can actually fight apart from these kind of roaming bandits or Vikings that we find on the open field. Don't you dare run away, good sir. And you as well. Cease and desist, you're required to stay here, thank you. I saw you actually look important. You look very important. And now you're dead. Who's the other person we're trying to chase? We're not going to catch them up, so we can leave. Oh, they've got some troops for us as well. How nice of them. Probably not that we can really afford it, but we'll take it nonetheless. And we'll take all this. I would actually really like for us as a kingdom to go to war as soon as possible, because that would just be useful in terms of making money. Let's keep on heading this way. Oh, here we go. This is more like it. I guess take these guys on. Prepare to die. 68 people. This is more like it. 7 renown, 6 morale. Or 7 renown, 6 battle advantage. Hopefully a good amount of money to be earned. But if nothing else, training, morale, all very useful indeed. Okay. Push up to the hill. I'm sure they're going to rush in as they normally do. If they don't have a lord, they don't tend to just hang around. They just tend to kind of run in as best possible. So everyone knows that high ground is the best, especially in the Star Wars. So our infantry and our spearmen can push forward. Archers on the hill, and our Norse warrior archers I think are going to start firing pretty soon, if not already. We have quite a few skirmishers, but I think most of them are sailors. Our spearmen can't get through as normal. Let's spread our archers out, just so our other guys can actually, you know, get through. Most of these guys don't have shields. I mean, the ones at the back do, but at least this initial first wave don't. I guess we're fighting them first because they've kind of got the lesser armour on, so they're naturally a bit quicker on their feet than guys with the heavy armour and the shields. Which is why often my own troops kind of outrun me. We deal with you. They're starting to run already. Have we thrown all our weapons? I think we've thrown all our weapons. We've got one javelin here. Can we do it? We can. We don't have enough. There's another javelin, but someone else has dealt with him. Wonderful. Very snowy, but then again it is Norway. Makes sense. You are definitely running as well. That was an awful throw. We'll pick up some of these javelins. That's a throwing spear. That's not going to go very well. Is it just him left? There's still 8 other troops we can get. Most of them are going to die, I would imagine. But actually, we don't actually want to chase the individual routers because that's going to take too long. We will take as many of these troops as we can. We'll take the Norse bowmen. And we'll take the freeholders. And that's all we can. That's all we have space for. Because otherwise we're going to go over our capacity in terms of people we can carry on our ships. So let's just take what we can. This can get very costly very quickly, upgrading all these guys. Actually, we will... The sailors and the young warriors have the same price, so we'll release the sailors to the young warriors instead. So we're sacrificing a bit of speed to get some just more actual kind of okay-ish frontline troops. Let's go back to... I think we can probably go back for that warband that we found. This one here, the 71. We'll come back for it, but I want to sell this loot off first in Tunsberg. A local naysayer is spreading false rumours about you. While most of the stories are pure nonsense, sooner or later people will believe him. Let him say what he wants. Every man has rights. We gain reputation, but we lose a little bit of renown. The rumours hurt your fame a little, but soon the merchant gets tired of your lack of interest. Wonderful. Whereas I think if it was the other way around, we would have lost reputation for trying to like bribe this sort of soothsayer. So I think in that regard, that's a positive thing. The tar here is very cheap at the moment. That's very nice. I will happily pick up the tar and sell it for a profit back on the mainland. Because tar is cheap here and sells for a great deal on mainland Britain. So I will happily do that. I'll buy all of it, even if it goes to 130 or 140, because it will sell for can sell for about 400 on the mainland. So it's definitely worth doing if you're in Norway. If you see tar cheaply, it's well worth doing. The Renegades camp here is 27. I want to find the group of 71 if I can. I don't know if they'll still be here or if they've been taken out, but there they are. No, I've missed them. Come back here. Here we go. Start battle holding position. We've got a okay-ish hill here that we'll set up here. That's not a problem. Infantry here, along with our spearmen. Archers and skirmishers on the hill. Cavalry on one side. Are the spearmen and infantry doing what they're told? The spearmen aren't, but at least the infantry are. So this is probably our capacity in terms of our troops at the moment, because we could go up to, I think, 270 it was, but we wouldn't be able to carry them on the open seas as we don't have space for another ship. I would like to get another... I would like to get another seeking point, but that requires some more... That requires some more points into charisma. Uriel 56, thank you very much for the follow indeed. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Okay, lots of people coming in. Let us see if we can do some sniping from a distance. Whether we will be able to is a whole other question. Oh, we can manage something. I guess, you know, throwing sticks into a mass is not that difficult. But, you know, I am generally rather terrible with throwing weapons in the grand scheme of things. Okay, they're already starting to run, so let's get everyone charging. And fire at will. We're going to get everyone charging so they actually can probably deal with the guys routing already. We'll deal with the kind of tougher troops here at the back of the army. So I want to get rid of that, the F1, the command menu. There's a lot of these guys and I'm actually taking quite a bit of damage. I don't know if that's damage I had from this game or from this battle or the previous one. Either way, we need to be a little bit careful. I don't think we've taken any major wounds, which is good, but we still need to not be idiotic about it. We do have a javelin sticking out of our chest. That's probably not a great thing, all things considered. It's kind of sad you can't pick out you can't pick out the spear out of your own chest and throw it. That'd be fun. I understand why, but it'd be fun to throw it. It'd be a fun thing to do nonetheless. Is it just that one soldier? Can we catch him with a bow or a throwing weapon or a horse? Probably not. So we've defeated the enemy. We can take plenty of prisoners, which is lovely. Chuffed with that, absolutely. More troops to upgrade. And we'll share the loot, hopefully a little bit more than we got last time. It seems like we've got a decent amount this time. Although, of course, some of it is just kind of slings and rocks. Not all that useful, but if it sells for a penny, it sells for a penny. There's a feast in Orkney. To be honest, I'm in a whole other country, not even on the British Isles. So it took me quite a while to get back there, but where's the king, by the way? Because if I could get the king on side, that'd be wonderful. Where's the location of your king? He should be close to Tunsberg. If I could get him on my side, that'd be excellent. Because I would like to get a business here in Norway. And that requires me to have a positive relationship with the owner of the town. In this case, you. A group of highwaymen? Absolutely, I will destroy this lair for you if I'm successful. And that will allow me to hopefully set up a business here in Tunsberg. We tend to get on pretty well with the guys in kind of Norway, Frisia, Denmark. We seem to do pretty well in terms of relations with our faction of Lathland. So let's go find that camp, and then actually we can try. I don't think we're going to have the money to actually set up the business, but we can go see if we can do quests for the Frisians, for Denmark, and basically get things ready when we do have the money. Somewhere around here there is a camp. We just need to find it. I did see some renegades kind of in this area. I just want to see if I can re-find them. I don't know exactly where it will be, but it's going to be somewhere around this area, because it's going to be somewhere within the location of Tunsberg. Otherwise, he wouldn't ask me. I keep on thinking that boar herd is actual soldiers, but it's not. Veteran renegades spawning over here. See, there it says patrolling around the veteran renegades camp. So it tells me it's somewhere in these hills. The question is where. You hear rumours of discontent. You should do something to raise spirits. Can I do that? Can I don't have any musicians. How do I hire musicians? Do I hire them from town? Yeah, let's raise our morale. How much would it be? 4,000. No thank you. We will just have to grin and bear the morale issues. I think there is something I can do in my camp to kind of let people, or get people happier. I do need to find some. What's a refuge? Oh, hang on. I'm still kind of exploring things myself. Party. Obviously the party size penalty isn't helping anything. Let's... I want to see what this refuge thing is. You may away your orders to start building the refuge. There's enough material collected so far. What might we be to maybe purchase some nearby villages? Well, let's do that somewhere more sensible, like the mainland. I think we're done here in Norway anyway, unless they have any more... They have more tar for us. Give me all the tar. I'm just going to get all the tar possible and then send it back to the mainland. Let's sail from port. Maybe we could attack slave traders. Oh, there's more mutinies. How bad's this mutiny? Is that it? 3 soldiers. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Crossing the sea. This is the problem with having such a large group of soldiers, I suppose. We just need to get back onto the land as quickly as possible. Is that someone we can take on? Those are just travellers. Where's a fun place for our refuge? Can we set it up by Hadrian's Wall? That sounds fun. People are deserting. Wonderful. As the lustre of your name grows ever brighter, I fear that my own reputation will pale in comparison. As the moon is outshone by the sun, I've decided to strike out my own. Very best of luck to you. Can I persuade you to stay? Fine, Elchu. I'll try catch you up with you later. We are not at war with anyone, but we really need to deal with our morale issues somehow. What's going to be the best way to deal with this? We might just have too many troops. Head to Bebenber, I think it's the closest town. I don't want to spend my money on morale, but we're going to have to. Let's sell all our prisoners that we can at the prison broker to try soften the blow here. But because we're not at war with anyone, there aren't kind of big battles we can do. I want to buy my men mead. That's a lot of money for 10 morale. 4,000 for 10 morale. I want to head somewhere like here. I want to try set up this refuge thing. Your refuge. Let's so order it. We have a permanent shelter. This is exciting. I completely forgot that this is a possibility. You are at your refuge, your very own refuge. A hidden retreat free from enemies where you can hide when things go badly, rest from your travels, or save your personal treasures. Having your main garrison refuge, like for cities and castles and cities, allows them to rest away from the dangers of the road and battle and reduce their maintenance cost. We can hire staff. Captain, priest, bard, bottler, happy widow, trainer, smith, armourer, physician, cook. All sounds pretty snazzy. We'll get Captain Marcus in. We can cost 55. It's fine. We can speak to him. Talk to our captain. I want to improve this place. How much does that cost? 5,000. That would also require us to get 5 toolkits and 5 timber pallets. Okay. That's interesting. The ramshackle prison at your refuge is not very secure. Captain suggests not to leave lords here. It's interesting that we've kind of set it up in this area here, but I don't know if anyone notices if this place exists, because I don't know if it's kind of considered hidden on the map, or if they'll see it as like a castle that they can siege and invade. We'll have to see. But if we can get like a musician here and we can get various staff members in, that would be worth doing, especially if we are struggling with morale. It's not a bad idea. Right now, it seems pretty small. Interesting. Let's go get those toolboxes and timber pallets. And we can also sell all this. We can sell all these bits of tar that we've got. Another reason why we have such low morale is because we've got like no food. That's not going to be helping anything at all. Well done, mate. Let's buy all the food possible, even kind of more expensive food, although not food that's going to go off. And certainly it's not stuff like honey, which is a lot of money for what it's worth, in my opinion. There we go. Let's go back to the goods. We'll buy a toolkit. We're going to head to Edinburgh, because up this way I believe there's a lumber camp we can buy lumber from. So I think that's what it needs us. Wait a second. There was a reason we were in Norway. Okay, we're going back to Norway. There was a reason we went to Norway. Although our morale is utterly awful at the moment. We've got 53 days to go back to Norway and finish that quest. Let's go to Edinburgh and pick up the rest of the things that we need. Lumber and toolkits. If they have any, which they don't seem to. Okay. Let's keep heading on. We're to Squeen and then Dunbreton. You have a toolkit. Wonderful. Should you have any other interesting food for me? Not necessarily interesting food, but food nonetheless. I'm hoping that we can get like the musicians hired pretty quickly to help with our morale issues. Where is the lumber camp? There it is. I knew it was here somewhere. I don't know how much lumber he's going to have for me, but hopefully enough to be worth buying. I mean, it'll be worth buying. I just don't know if he's going to have enough. I want to buy some timber. He has enough timber. Excellent. So this is going to be a bit of an investment up front, but I think it will be worth it to get our refuge up and running. Our own little home away from home. Went to Dunbreton, see if we can find the rest of these toolkits that we need. Cornwall and Wessex are at war, which is not really a surprise. They're right next to each other. There's not many places that they can... Certainly not many places that Cornwall can expand. There's the other toolkits. Wonderful. Head back to our refuge, and then we'll... Because we need to sort out our morale issues before we do anything else. That's clear to me. We are still making a profit, though, each week, which is quite remarkable because it's not always going to be the case. More Viking Conquest. Yes, Synth, absolutely. I'm quite enjoying it, so I'm playing it quite a lot at the moment. We will support Olaf Gudrudsen. Yes, the same character, the one I've been playing pretty much since the start of this campaign, Guthlaf, named after the Hornman of King Theoden from Lord of the Rings. Although, I think last time you were here, potentially, I was still with Wessex down here, but I'm now with the Kingdom of Lathland up here in Scotland. Because I thought it would be a fun change. And Wessex were getting a bit too powerful for my liking, so I moved. Sort our captain. I want to improve this place. Go ahead. Here's your stuff. Work should be finished in about a week. I want to give 500 men or 500 pennies to families of my men. That gives me morale. Wonderful. Because really, I'm not doing great with morale. What should we name our refuge as? Let's call it. Homestead? No. What should we call it? let's just call it... Oh, what's that place in Lord of the Rings called? I'm trying to think of the place that the Rohan people live in. Edoras. We're going to call it that. There we go. We're going to call it Edoras for the time being. It could still change. But we'll call it Edoras for the time being. Okay, we're now back to average morale, but still not excellent. Let's head down this way, see if we can find some people to kill. Of any, in any capacity, really. If there's any ruffians, that's not going to be worth doing. 34 renegades might be a little bit more worthwhile, so we'll go after them. If I had a Viking character in Scotland, I'd call him Keildr. Keildr. I'm probably butchering that so many different ways. I originally named my guy Guthlaf because I was in Wessex, and Tolkien always made the I think kind of based Rohan off the Anglo-Saxons originally. There's no correct pronunciation. You know, like after 3,600 vanilla warband hours, I've noticed there's a compass? Where's the compass? To be fair, my name is utter nonsense as well, Huithril. Like, no one can ever say my name, so I don't even bother trying to get people to do it. Rohan seems like Anglo-Saxons with way more horse. That's a fairly apt description, I think. On the main world screen, in the bottom left corner. I'm going to have to see, that's remarkable. I didn't actually do any tactics in this battle, but I'm hoping we just have the numbers to deal with them. To be fair, Rohan were always my favourite race of men in... 13 Javelin. My favourite race of men in Lord of the Rings. Much more than Gondor. I always thought Gondor were a bit useless. Literally every stream of this game has never noticed. I mean, I've got 600 hours in this game, and another few hundred hours offline, so I really don't... I've never even noticed it beforehand, even before streaming, so I've only recently got into streaming. A combined brain ignorance, I guess. That makes sense. Gondor felt really uppity. It did. Very much so. I liked kind of the fighting on Skileth. That was fun, but like as Natural Kingdom, I didn't really like them. They were very snobbish. I'm not actually gonna take these guys. I'll take the young warriors actually. Share the loot, whatever loot we can. Oh yes, compass. I guess it points you due north, but it's not, you know. I mean, I suppose with the British Isles it's very easy to tell where north is, but if you're playing a much more complex map or kind of a completely new fantasy setting, then I guess having the north compass is useful, but you know, the north doesn't really matter. You know, in general, like, you know, there's no benefits for being up north. In principle, I guess for Viking Conquest it might just matter in terms of like how the wind blows, but I don't know if that's a possibility or if I'm just making that up. The north is nice in Lord of the Rings. I love the idea of a woody area with rangers, hobbits and villagers scattered about. Absolutely. Hello, Wandering Bard. How do I get musicians in this game? We'll have to find out. I'm guessing that might be in my refuge, which hopefully will be nearly done soon. Asgard is upset because we didn't go and recite some god-awful poetry at her. It's in Vanilla 2, which is just pure useless. Yeah, that makes sense. Look, Astrid? What's her name? Asgard. Asgard, I'm busy. I'll come back to you. I need to go back over to Norway, but I'm concerned that I'm going to have more morale issues on the way back. I want to at least wait to see what happens with Edoras. It's the go-to Praven Compass, I guess. Absolutely. I haven't played, like, just basic Warband in so long. Because I invested most of my time into Pendor, which I really love as a mod. It's my favourite mod by far. How's Edoras doing? How goes construction? The workers... That's a really useful statement. The workers are working hard. See if we can find some people by this Northman Longfall. It's a great game, but since playing Pendor, I can't go back to the basic game now because it's just adds so much extra depth. Anyone around here? I really wish I could make myself love Bannerlord. Me too, mate. But also, yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about Warband, the original, is that if you get knocked out in a siege or just a battle, that's it. Because, God forbid, one commander goes down and the battle ends, as Vortex is saying in chat. You know, I'm pretty sure during fights, you know, sure, if the king goes down, you might decide to call it a day, but, you know, a commander goes down, you wouldn't stop the fight. That just feels odd. I wanted those Northmen. I'm just kind of hanging around this place trying to find some fights. We have a pretty strong army, but we don't have anyone to fight at the moment. 18, 20, 22 robbers is not excellent. You know, there's 200 of us. It's not going to make that much of a... It's not going to do that much for us. There were quite a few bandits in general in quite large quantities down in the area by Wessex. That might be where we go. Strategy games are difficult for me. I'm horrible at them. Strategy games are the one thing I'm actually like moderately decent at. I mean, depending on what kind of strategy I like grand strategy, you know, Paradox games. I think Stellaris is my 5th most played game on Steam. And I've greatly enjoyed Crusader Kings 2. Crusader Kings 3 I couldn't quite get into as much at the moment. And I'd like to get into Hearts of Iron, actually. That's something I haven't really tested the waters with yet. But I feel like you need quite a bit of DLC before Hearts of Iron 4 becomes worth it. And then I love stuff like XCOM. Total War has always been great fun for me. Actually, in fact, I think Total War was kind of some of the first games I ever played. Rome, Total War, Medieval 2 Total War. Very much have fond memories of them. And Age of Empires, which I played a lot of during lockdown with my family because we couldn't see each other. So it was nice to be able to have a game that we all have very fond memories of. Let's go to these Vikings. I will drink from your skull. Set up on the hill. Not that we probably need to, but they are Vikings, so we'll just be a little bit on the careful side. Infantry and spearmen at the front, as always. Archers and skirmishers on the hill, please. Souls games and RPGs have been my go-to. I like Skyrim, but I haven't played that in a long time either. I also have Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I want to try. But I'm waiting, because I might do that on live stream, I'm not sure. I have the game, I've never got around to playing it. Same with The Witcher. The Witcher 3, I've got that on my Steam library, I've just not got around to it. But I should really. I've tried Dark Souls and it never quite clicked, but that may just be me. You can get into Kingdom Come Deliverance. Do you mind if I ask you why? I mean, it's not a judgment at all. I'm just intrigued. Because, you know, I do have the game. I've just never actually sat down and played the thing. Yeah, Skyrim is very fun for the sandbox opinion option. I've always enjoyed sandbox games, as you can tell by me playing quite a lot of Mountain Blade Warband. And actually, I think my second most played game on Steam is 7 Days, which is kind of zombie survival, which is also, I suppose you could classify as a sandbox, because there's no real story to it. Oh, let's try and deal with this berserker before it actually gets to the front lines. Or not. Everyone can charge. I mean, was it too realistic? Was that what you felt was like too much? So I know that's what some people's complaints were with. Like the combat system was too realistic, like too much in terms of realism, and then it felt hard to do. I know that some of the kind of voice acting, the voice acting lining up with the models felt quite stiff. That's one thing I did notice when I watched it. Kind of watched gameplay of it. There we go, 33 Vikings dealt with. This can be really specific. Often it is just one specific thing in games, that's the thing. Leave all the loot for your men. Is that going to give me more morale? Yes, a bit. But it also means we get less money for ourselves, of course. I'm out of the tutorial at the start in town. You go to town and walk around. That sounds not too bad. You get insomnia. You can get insomnia in the game. Interesting. There used to be a bunch of kind of raiders around here, but I guess maybe the Kingdom of Wessex have actually dealt with them for the most part. I could go and attack East Engel, given that I'm technically at war with them anyway, since I raided that monastery. The quests in town are terrible with sleep problem. It becomes night. Oh, I see. I'll tell you one game I am looking forward to is Hogwarts Legacy, and I know it could end up being terrible, and I really shouldn't pre-order it, but I've always had a thing for Harry Potter, and finally Harry Potter looks to be actually coming out on a decent game, so I've been saving up to go after it when it comes out in mid-February. You're stuck in the archery tutorial in the middle of the night with sleep deprivation. That sounds interesting. Archery and sleep deprivation feel like a great combination. There's no one by the Danish Longfall, which is annoying. So I'd quite like for some guys to spawn in, but if they're not going to spawn, we're going to have to keep moving. We also don't have a variety of food, so we need to go get some quickly. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely give it a go when the time is right. But I've got quite a bit of games and stuff to record and or stream at the moment anyway. I'm streaming this very late today because I spent a lot of time working on the episode I released today on YouTube, and so it's kind of it's finding the right balance of playing all the games and just some of the games. We save Ludenham North, that's fine. I think Ludenham North like us already, but we'll go do that anyway. Hogwarts Legacy looks like it'll be a cash grab garbage. I hope not. I really hope not. Obviously it easily could be. I just hope not, because I've always loved Harry Potter, and you know I love the kind of the first 3 games of the Harry Potter series that came out a long time ago. They have a very special place in my heart, but ever since then there's never been any game like that. it reminds me of Red Dead Redemption with wands and magic, mixed with like Batman Arkham Asylum, kind of that kind of combat style, or like the Spider-Man games where you kind of bounce around all the different guys. I hope it will be okay. I don't like games or books taking place in the school setting, which is absolutely fine. I don't know what it was. I connected with it when I was younger. I do actually quite like the movies, so I hope it won't be a cash grab. It easily could be, or it might just release in the state like Cyberpunk 2077 did, where it was hyped up and never quite lived up to expectations, or like No Man's Sky. But Cyberpunk's probably a more accurate representation of a similar game. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'm probably not going to look at the Steam reviews because they can be incredibly like subjective one way or the other. So I think the main thing will be for me I will be looking at hopefully like an independent review. I just hit my microphone, I do apologise. Definitely going to have a ton of microtransactions. I really hope not, because it's a 50 quid or 60 quid game up front. So I really hope to not have to deal with microtransactions. But I can see how there would be a place for them. I don't think it would be buggy either. I think it might just be a bit soulless. But we'd have to see. Come here, Master's Men. I want to kill you. I can't actually remember what soldiers you are, but we will deal with you when the time arises. It's going to have an in-game store for cosmetics and maybe even in-game items. I don't mind money for cosmetics, even though it's a little bit annoying. What I don't like is in-game items. That's the thing I have the main problem with. And I completely understand cosmetics and maybe even in-game items for real money in a free game or a game which you charge like £5 for. It's like a freemium game. But I'd really rather not have it in this one. We'll have to see. Are they coming to us? They're not coming to us because they are archers, I think. So I'm going to let people charge, especially the infantry and the spearmen. And then the other guys can follow on as well. Archers can move up to here. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at the reviews properly when they come out. I have been looking forward to it for a long while. There's also an Avatar game coming out at some point this year as well, like an open world Avatar game. Assassin's Creed always found a way to incorporate its premium store into the tutorial, which I hated. I would hate that too. That's ridiculous. Yeah, there's one thing having a premium store, but putting it into the tutorials just obnoxious in my opinion. Here's a few credits that you can buy jack shit with. Buy more to get cool flashy boat skins. I've never really played many of the Assassin's... I don't think I've ever played an Assassin's Creed game, which is weird because it feels like it would be something that I would enjoy. Because I enjoy watching other people play, and I certainly enjoy watching people play Hitman. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is definitely one I've wanted to try. As well as some of the older ones. I'm not as keen on like the high fantasy ones like Odyssey or... I mean, Odyssey would be okay. What was the one? The Egyptian one. What was that called? I can't remember what that one was called, but either way, that one looked, with like flaming swords, and that's just not my kind of deal. We need to catch up to these archers. Origins, that's the one. I don't mind a little bit of low fantasy, but like, I guess I always preferred the realism of the early games, even though, like I said, I've never really actually played Assassin's Creed at all. Black Flag, I think the two I'd like to play are Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Valhalla purely for the aesthetic of it, and I like Vikings, as you can tell, because I'm playing a Viking game now. I don't mind as much the kind of a little bit of fantasy in something like Valhalla, because of that kind of reliance on the gods that was very prevalent within Viking folklore. So you can just imagine it as kind of the gods aiding you. I suppose you could do that for all of them, but I don't know. I think probably if I was to play them, it would be Black Flag and Valhalla. Okay, we'll do the Saxon Bowman prisoner. Do this stuff to sell, just 'cause we're a little bit low on the old cash, although in general we should probably let our troops take the actually take the loot unless we think it's going to be something useful, just so we can keep our morale up, because it's pretty low at the moment. Let's go back to Edoras up north. In Valhalla, literally goes some historical to literally go into heaven. Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, in the right circumstances, fun. I did watch one of my favourite YouTubers play it. Albeit only kind of the first hour and a half they played, so it probably wasn't that good of an impression, but it seemed like I might at least enjoy it. Tales of your successes spread around the country. Everywhere you go, your procession is surrounded by beggars. Here I have 200 pennies to get our reputation eventually back to positive. After we raided that monastery, it all went a bit wrong. Here we go to Edoras. I'm hoping it's been a week. Here we go. Let's go to the mead hall. There's no one here, but there is a pig on the spit. We need to hire some staff. I want to get a bard. Valhalla has a good but long story filled with repetitive stuff to do, but it is fun. Ah, fair enough. What's the difference between Skalbragi and Bard Siwi? No, let's go for Skalbragi. That's fine. Initial cost. We'll get a Godi. We'll get a Bottler. We will. Oh, we can. I will take a Scald, absolutely, because I definitely need the morale boost. Let's get. Which Happy Widow should we go for? Go for Idgid, Gula, some lady I can't say. Some other lady I can't say. Let's go for Gula, because you can actually say her name properly. We'll go for Trainer Herald as well. And we will also take a Physician. We'll take Alexander, because he can do light and heavy wounds. So that's going to be a bit of a cost, but it will be worth it. Hello, Gula. I want to raise the spirits of my men. 1500, absolutely. Where's my Scald? Where am I going to find my Scald? Go to the refuges. Oh, that might be where he is. Alexander Skalbragi, hello. Can you sing for me and my men? Cantiga 2. It's one morale. Oh, you sing about me? Presumably that's for renown. Oh, you can actually hear the music, that's cool. This is cool. Talk to our captain. I don't want to land my ships here next to this refuge. It's too far away from the shore. That was a mistake. I should have built it closer to the shore. How do I improve this hideout? 10,000. That will allow us to build a blacksmith, stables, and improve the defensives. Do I need defences? Is this place ever going to be attacked? Interesting. So that's going to add a little bit of money to our weekly cost, but I think it will be worth it. Just have the ability there. And it's fun to do it near Hadrian's Wall. But I really would like to be able to go to war with someone. I think that's important. Let's head back on our ships to... Let's see if we can get across to Norway without having any issues. And run to Tunsberg as quickly as possible. We will need to check our ships as well because they're probably quite damaged. We're travelling across the open sea, so we'll just have a quick look. We'll repair our flagship. We'll repair you. We'll just repair all of them unless they're incredibly expensive to repair. There we go. We still have about 7,000 pennies, so it's not bad. Ransom broker will sell all our prisoners. Not that we have a huge amount of them. We will trade with the locals, however, because I would like to be able to get all this tar. As again, tar can be pretty useful for selling at a profit back on the British Isles. And I want to try and find this bandit lair that I need to find. I've got 31 days to do so. It's got to be somewhere in this general vicinity. It's a question of where. Just need to run around till I find it, really. The thing is, it could be anywhere in this general area. It's just a question of finding it, but I do want to find it because that will help getting us a positive relation in this area. Oh, we're at war with Wessex. That's going to be interesting. That's going to cost us quite a bit of money because I'm not sure I'm thrilled by that as a prospect. I was hoping for war with someone a bit closer to our land, because now we're going to be under sequestration with a lot of our businesses. So I don't think we can afford to stay here and look for this place. We're going to have to leave and get back over to the mainland and start killing some people from Wessex. Unfortunately, this quest is just going to have to wait. I don't see the option of kind of hanging around. We're going to land down in Canterbury and do what we can to attack them and earn money that way. I don't see another option, unfortunately. So we might have to take the negative relation hit with the Norwegian king, because we're going to have to... Oh, we've got another mutiny. Wonderful. Only 2 soldiers. Not too bad. Okay, let's keep going. We just need to get into some more mutinies. Okay, we just need to get back onto land as quickly as possible. Got another 3 soldiers mutinying. It's not great, but it's manageable at the moment. But if this keeps happening, we're going to have issues. I'm guessing it's to do with the amount of food we have, because all we really have is bread and wheat, which is not really high quality things. I will be honest. That's probably why. Let's get ashore here. You hear some rumours of discontent. You should do some to raise their hanging spirits. I need to hire musicians somehow. We'll do that momentarily if we can find a way to do so. Let's trade with the locals. Let's sell all this tar for as much money as we can possibly get away with. And we'll also buy all their food, their fish, their vegetables, all the bread, even though it's not going to be much. But given how much food we go through, it's important to grab. There we go. I don't think the competition's going to be our best use of our time. Best thing we can do, we just need to... Okay, let's head to the meat hall very quickly. And we will visit that. Hopefully, if there's a happy widow here. There is. I want to raise the morale of my men. 13 morale for 1500. It's the cost I'd rather not bear, but we're going to have to. We might just need to reduce the size of our team, that's for sure. "77 thieves here. It's not really what I'm after, but I will. I guess I'll go for it. Just well, actually, no. With young warriors there, that's not worth it. 93 versus 197. Really? We'll give it a go. Commander options. Let's send for. Let's make a sacrifice to the gods. Right, time to attack. 10 morale. Excellent. Can we send for our skirmishers? But no. Let's start the battle holding position. We don't have a great hill to work with. This could be a tough fight. Let's try to be relatively smart about this one. I don't know if he's going to charge to us, so let's at least just get set up. We can always push forward afterwards. But if we're not set up and he comes over the hill, we're going to be in trouble. Given we're firing on them, that suggests they are coming towards us. Oh yes, I see them just there. Okay, let's get our archers to spread out, just to get space. We're kind of firing at them, they're kind of firing at us, but not quite enough. But I'd really rather they come to us. It just, tactically, I think it'll be a lot better. I think eventually we will at least take a couple of them out, and I'm hoping that once we do, that will prompt them to attack us. Or even if one of our guys dies, to be honest. I'm going to tell my cavalry to charge to try and bait them into attacking us. I don't mind sacrificing the 2 cavalry I've got, especially as they're both my companion cavalry. The cavalry hold this position, if they can get through, which they can't. Let's spread you out to get these guys through. I'm still not charging just yet, but I'm hoping these cavalry. Okay, we'll lose the Irish horsemen probably, but I think it'll be worth it just to hopefully bait them into attacking them. I don't know if they will, but I'd really rather they come to us. He's shouting out his war cry. This is by no means a done deal, so we do need to be careful about this. No one's dead yet. They're kind of pushing over the hill, but I don't know if they're pushing over the hill enough to make it worth it. Are they coming now? They're kind of coming this way. Yeah, okay, let's pull back. We'll pull back. They are definitely coming closer. If we just keep on goading them this way. We keep on okay, now we're getting some throwing weapons involved. This is good. Here they come. I think it was the right tactical decision to sacrifice the 2 cavalry. Okay, everyone charge. Everyone charge. I'm now stuck in my own shield wall and I can't move. Excuse me, gents. I need to get out. Gentlemen, I cannot fight if you keep me trapped in here. Let me out of the way. Let me out. Thank you. Let's go after the bannerman. That's important. If we take out the bannerman, that's going to cause them to not be too thrilled. Everyone charge again, just in case. We'll push towards their kind of skirmisher range line. You're dealt with. You're sort of dealt with. But you're an actual proper skirmisher. Okay, deal with you. Okay, we're being... I think we have at least been successful with this. We should get some battle trophies. Or some war trophies or something similar. And that will help pay for a little bit of the issues that we're having. Defeated the enemy. He managed to escape, which is unfortunate. We can take all his guys prisoner, which is good. Share the loot. Okay, we got an epic trophy, that's good. We got 2 battle trophies as well. The loot itself doesn't look too impressive, but those battle trophies will pay for a couple of weeks' rent. But we do need to be kind of doing quite active. We need to be quite active with what we're doing here. Go to Cirencester. We will trade with the locals, but we're going to be attacked. Ooh, what's the lightning? Okay, let's charge, gents. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. Jesus. I didn't see them behind us. I don't want to lose this because we need the money. And actually we'll get money if we kill these guys. That was... I only thought there was like 4 guys with shields and there turned out to be like 12. Good grief. Are these guys all enemies? I don't think I can take these guys all on, but we'll have to see. The lightning isn't helping this either. If we take all these guys on, I'll be mightily impressed, but we're going to struggle in the second tier because we're going to keep hitting the wall. I don't think we're going to manage. I can't even see what I'm doing because I'm inside a house. Oh, we were nearly there. How much are they going to take off us? 271 pennies, not the end of the world. Could have been a lot worse. I think they only kind of take a percentage of what you have. We will sell all this for however much it's worth, which is not going to be a huge amount, but it will be some. And of course, the more fights we do as well, the better morale we'll get as well. Apparently, buying meat here and selling it at Bodwin would get us a pretty good price. That's good to know, not that they actually have much mead. We will trade in our battle trophies and our epic trophies for however much money we can. We'll also to the mead hall to sell to our ransom broker. Excellent. That's about 5,000 pennies just off that. Well worth doing. Let's keep seeing if we can kill some people from Wessex. We need to let our troops regenerate their health though, that's the only thing. There'll probably be some trade we can go after. But even that one engagement we did take quite a few losses. Actually we can go to Luneham North, because we can get some peasants from there. It's not ideal, but we can at least get some troops from there. 200 freeholders, it's something. We will also... Are we going to upgrade our guys? That cost us a lot of money. So did that. That might have been a real mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Because now we're not going to be able to afford a rent. You come here, I require all your things. Hand over your goods and valuables. I need money. That was a real mistake that I did there. Charge. charge, charge, charge. This isn't really one where we're just going to hang around. It's not, we don't really have time to set up an advantageous position here. So we just need to get in and fight as quickly as possible. I could have asked for a toll, but I don't think it would have been... You always get a lot more money from actually killing them properly and looting their caravan. There's a remarkable amount of priests here. That was a bloody good shot, whoever attacked me for 43 damage. Do need to be careful about the spears with their extended range. You look like you hurt. I think you're an Anglo-Saxon warrior. Or something similar. I want to get behind and help here. Just to try and buy our troops some time. And then we can go hopefully deal with these guys. No, that's what we dealt with. There we go. Wonderful. And hopefully we can get this to a traders quickly. I want all... In fact, we'll go back to Cirencester. I should not have upgraded all my troops, that's for sure. We will take all of this to sell, regardless of what it is. We'll even take the chicken and sell that, and as well as the sausages. And we'll head back to Cirencester because we know there's a prison broker there. Or a ransom broker, I should say. So let's go to the meat hall. There was a ransom broker here, there's not anymore, that's frustrating. Sell all we can. This hopefully at least might get us through the week. But it's not entirely a given, is it? Good grief. Okay, let's keep going into Wessex territory. War is profit, we just have to keep trying. He's going after... Oh, there's another trader here. I demand all your stuff. Hand over your goods. 165 versus 71. This will also help with our morale in general, so I'm not unthrilled about this. I do, however, get upgrading all my troops because that one I've got nobody to work with. We'll set up at this side of the river. Infantry here. Spearmen here. Archers on this little mound. As well as our skirmishers, which I think we do have a few of. And then cavalry can stand here by the lake. Yeah, got a decent hit off there. Infantry push forward, as well as our spearmen. I'm going to spread out our archers just so they don't hold back any of our infantry or spearmen. They're kind of holding the river. So now they can close up, so they don't need to be quite so far apart now. Please let me through, I'm important. Am I a Jarl? Or am I just a captain? I don't know. Either way, I pay your bills, so please let me through. I want to do some damage before I inevitably knock myself unconscious. Let's go. Everyone charge. We'll try around the back of them and just chop into their backs as much as possible. So the best thing we can do is just keep on damaging them as best possible for either ourselves or our troops to finish off. You're running, come back here. You look important in terms of money. So I don't want you to die, thank you. There's a couple of guys over here as well. We'll see if we can throw some throwing weapons in. I don't know if we will be successful, probably not. I'm generally rather terrible with these things, as you very well know. Okay, well, we've defeated the enemy nonetheless. And I'll take all these guys to sell. See, now we have morale high because we've been doing a lot of fights, but when we were travelling around on the seas not being able to fight anyone, it didn't go very well. Oh, some silver, that would do nicely for the coffers. Grab all that to sell. We can sell that at London because that's not far away, and who knows, the trader may have even moved there by now, or the ransom broker, I should say. So to the meat hall, there is not a prison broker, but we can at least trade some of these goods. Not that you have any money for me. Again, we will sell the chicken and the sausages, because even if we won't eat them, someone else will. It's nothing like buying someone else's half-eaten chicken. Okay, we'll sell this to the horse merchant, I guess, the silver. Okay, we're getting somewhere, but we're also going to lose a bit when it comes to payday. The good thing is Wessex is so big, they have a lot of traders all over the place. Only losing 677, but it's because we have 4 businesses under sequestration, which is not ideal. But we deal with the hand we're given. You look like you've actually got some good prisoners. I'm going to take you just so I don't have to go recruiting. Because if I'm going to be stuck in a long drawn-out engagement with, if I'm stuck in a long drawn-out engagement with Wessex, it would be worth doing. Lots of lightning at the moment. Maybe there's a, I don't know, a witch or something coming in for us. I think our infantry can push ahead. Let's get our spearmen. Already the archers are doing something. I don't know if they're actually going to kill anything, but at least they will be damaging some shields, so I'm not going to say no to that. Let's try and deal with this berserker. Berserkers are really rather scary, but there we go. Okay, let's go. These guys, I'm mostly taking these guys as the prisoners, but it's still a bit of loot, morale, renown. It's not a bad thing to be doing. As long as I can actually defeat this guy, which remains to be seen. There we go. Man, this lightning is very atmospheric, it's cool. Yes, you dealt with. Bunch of people running. Bunch of people running. Everyone charge. See if we can take out these guys with throwing weapons. We weren't successful, but someone else maybe, but we will catch up to them. That's not a problem. We're mostly here for the troops. As troops are useful. But they do, of course, cost money, so let's make sure we get some prisoners as well. But I don't want to have to go all the way back up to Scotland to recruit, so this feels like the kind of good middle ground, and they come pre-trained as well, so that's useful as well. We'll pick up the skirmisher, we'll pick up the freeholder, and we'll pick up the serf as well. Hopefully he can become something useful in time. And we will, of course, take whatever random loot we do have here. Let's keep on searching in Wessex. So we can find, because if you're going to sequestrate me, I'm going to take all your stuff. Ooh, can I take you on, do you reckon? I want to say no. I don't think I've got the troops to take him on. If he takes someone else on, though, I might be able to help. But with 154 troops and him being the Etheling, I don't think that would be worth attempting. We'll head over to Canterbury, see if anything's happening here. Some trade, but not trade I can readily attack, sadly. And really not any territory I can take over because it's in the wrong part of the world for me. I can, however, deal with you. How much would you give me for a toll? 1,400 pennies is not bad. But I want all your things instead. So let's go. I want to block the Irish horseman from getting down the hill for a little bit, so he just doesn't charge in unnecessarily. Ow. Okay, we need to deal with that injury that we've taken. Wow, we're being massacred here. More importantly, I'm being massacred. I'm not sure about my troops, but I am. Do some damage with throwing weapons if we can. Someone's throwing weapons at us there, however. So just be careful. Oh, and we're dead. That's because I accidentally shield bashed and then left myself open for attack. That's fine, we just need to make sure to go get ourselves recovered before I forget, because then that could go badly wrong. There we go. 4 renown, 4 morale, very worthwhile. I'm hoping the money will be more worthwhile, however, but we'll see. Not a huge amount of stuff, but it's still worth taking. In fact, all of it's probably worth taking. There's some furs, but we still haven't found much jewellery, so I don't think we would have ever been able to do that quest to the level that we wanted. We're back to London Wick to sell these things. And we might be able to find a healer there as well. While you camp, a delegation of people from nearby approach. They seem to have a problem with their lord and want your advice. Apparently the Vikings have ransacked the area, so they are poor. They must still pay their taxes to their lord. As their lord did not pretend for the Vikings, they ask whether they should not pay, prepare to fight the lord if the lord attacks, or whether they should pay and let their families starve. I can't give them £4,000 to... I just don't have the ability to do that at the moment. I still think the Lord would kill more of you than hunger. The farmers thank you, even though they're not happy with your counsel. It will cost many of the children's lives next winter. I would give them money, I simply just don't have the ability to do so though. So we're doing this, which is just going around doing as much as we can to kill all the people in Wessex. Here's a ransom broker, that's going to be excellent, that gives us quite a bit of money. As the nice thing is we can take a lot of prisoners with us nowadays, given the size of our party. We'll sell all of this, hopefully in one foul swoop. There we go. And as we rest outside London Wick, I think I will call the stream there, as it's very late in the morning, or early in the morning, depending on how you kind of choose to interpret it. But either way, I've been having a really fun time with this. I'm going to play a lot more of it. I've really been enjoying it. But thank you so much for everyone for stopping by and watching. And see you all very, very, very soon. I cannot speak today. I'm garbling my words. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.